Hello, and welcome to Arrakis, my beautiful desert home. Now let me tell you about a story. House Atreides had governed the ocean planet of Caladan under Duke Leto's fair leadership, alongside his consort, Lady Jessica, who was part of a secretive order known as the Bene Gesserit. Duke Leto raised their son, Paul, who was trained in combat, and began dreaming of a desert world and a blue-eyed figure. He didn't know what to make out of these dreams. So many dreams. When the Emperor ordered them to take charge of Arrakis, my beautiful desert planet, where priceless spice is harvested, Paul's visions took a new weight. Arrakis is unforgiving, and it had blistering heat, colossal sandworms define the landscape. While the previous stewards, House Harkonnen, had only stepped aside from their home. Duke Leto hoped to present their inevitable revenge by treating the native Fremen with respect.
I love you guys.
And he dispatched Duncan Idaho, Aquaman, to learn more about them and their hidden strongholds. Paul's senses sharpened the moment he arrived on Arrakis. The spice-laden air deepened his dreams, hinting at a long-whispered Bene Gesserit prophecy of a chosen figure tied to desert legend. Meanwhile, signs of sabotage appeared, and word spread of the Harkonnens conspiring with the Emperor.
I need you to remove House Atreides.
One night, a trusted doctor turned traitor, disabling the fortress shields and letting Harkonnen forces invade. Duke Leto was captured and killed, despite a final attempt on the Baron's life. Paul and Jessica escaped into the desert with almost nothing, surviving punishing storms only through her Bene Gesserit training and Paul's evolving abilities. Each breath of Arrakis seeming to awaken a new hint of his strange destiny. Fremen scouts discovered them at the edge of exhaustion. Silger, a respected leader, recognized potential in both mother and son. Yet, Fremen ways demanded proof of worth, and Paul faced a challenge from one of Stilgar's men. The outcome was a fatal duel for the challenger, a burden Paul accepted reluctantly. His voice earned them a place with the Fremen, but it also left him shaken, as he had never taken human life. Within the shelter of the rocky caves, Paul learned of the Fremen's dream to transform Arrakis into a green shelter. Into a green world across centuries. They collected water in vast hidden reservoirs, revered the sandworms as sacred beings, and protected each other with a fierce unity. Their reverence extended toward Paul when they discovered his uncanny reflexes and foresight, along with the strange voice control techniques Jessica wielded. Silence, she would say. Whispers rose that Paul was the one foretold by ancient legends. Jessica underwent a Fremen ritual that involved drinking the dangerous water of life. Paul was worried he would never see his mother again, and in some way, that did come true. The water of life transformed her into a spiritual leader known as the Reverend Mother. This ritual affected her unborn daughter, Alaya, granting the child a premature awareness that unsettled even the most devout Fremen. Meanwhile, Paul grew closer to Chani, the young woman from his visions, who guided him in desert survival. Together with Stilgar, they planned raids against Harkonnen forces to undermine spice production. Under Paul's leadership, the Fremen became a great army, launching swift, precise attacks that cut into the Harkonnens' profits and disrupted their hold on Arrakis. Infuriated, the Baron Harkonnen commanded his nephew Robin to crush the Fremen. The Baron said these famous words: "Bring back spice production, and I'll make you emperor." But the desert tribes only grew stronger. Paul journeyed down south to proclaim to the South Fremen people that he was indeed the Messiah that they had heard prophecies of. After he showed proof, he calmly stated these famous words: "I am Paul Muad'Dib Atreides, Duke of Arrakis. The hand of God be my witness. I am the voice from the outer world. I will lead you to paradise." The Emperor soon arrived on Arrakis with legions of his army, aiming to crush any rebellion and restore order to the spice trade. Yet, he underestimated the power of united Fremen people who knew every grain of sand. In a final and legendary battle, sandstorms raged across the desert while Paul led the Fremen in coordinated strikes. Many of them were mounted on colossal worms. The Emperor's army, though fierce, found themselves overrun in the shifting dunes.
Say that again.
See what I did there?
It's fantastic.
Planes, or whatever they're called, ornithopters or something, fell from the sky, and the Emperor's command post was seized. Even as the conflict reached its peak, Paul defeated the Baron's favorite nephew, Feyd-Rautha, in a single combat, symbolizing the end of Harkonnen domination. Facing defeat, the Emperor had little choice but to concede to Paul, my great king, who now held supreme power over Arrakis. The Fremen chanted his chosen name, Muad'Dib, Muad'Dib, declaring him their savior. Those loyal to the Atreides gathered around him, remembering Duke Leto's honorable leadership and recognizing that his son had carried their house to a new kind of victory. Yet, Paul was not without doubts. In his vision, he had witnessed potential of a potential holy war that could spill out to the farthest stars, waged in his name by fervent followers. He wondered if his ascent might spark a chain of violence across the galaxy. Still, the immediate threat of Harkonnen and Imperial oppression had been broken. House Atreides, once nearly destroyed, now guided Arrakis by right of conquest and prophecy. Yeah. Paul saved us. Dune, part 1 and part 2. Yeah. Lisan al-Gaib. Lisan al-Gaib. Lisan al-Gaib.